At sa puntong ito, makakapanayam natin si Zamboanga City Representative Celso Lobregat, kaugnay pa rin sa pagpasa ng House Ad Hoc Committee sa panukalang Bangsamoro Basic Law. Magandang umaga po, Representative Lobregat.
Hello?
Hello sir, good morning po.
Kara, good morning and Howie.
Magandang umaga po sir. Isa po kayo sa mga mga kilalang tutol po dito sa ilang probisyon sa Bangsamoro Basic Law. Ano po yung mga probisyon po ba na talagang sa tingin ninyo hindi po tama pero naipasa dito sa House Ad Hoc Committee?
Yung unang-una, yung opt-in provision na opt-in anytime. Doon, yun ang original version, opt-in anytime. Pero alam mo, Kara, saan kami pumunta sa Mindanao, yan ang pinakamalaking issue, especially those sa katabi ng present autonomous government. At in how many public hearings, sabi na ng chairman, yan talaga, hindi pwede yan, creeping and ever-expanding arm. Ay tatanggalin namin yan. Saan kami pumunta, yan din ang sinabi. And para yung sa Peace Council, Peace Council that was formed, sila talagang gusto nila, pabor sila ipasa yung BBL at sabi nila, yung ibang provision, pwedeng palitan yung mga wordings. Pero dito, sa opt-in anytime, ang Peace Council mismo, anong sabi, dapat tanggalin yan. Dapat tanggalin yan.
Sir,
so,
para po sa... Sir, para po sa kaalaman ng mga nakikinig po sa atin, yung opt-in po na provision po na itong sinasabi niyo, ito po yung sinasabi na kahit hindi sila miyembro ng Bangsamoro entity sa ngayon, ay pwede silang mag-opt na pumasok in the coming years.
Siguro mas maliwanag kung bigyan natin ang example. Halimbawa, yung Metro Manila, ilang syudad yan, di ba? Halimbawa, sabihin natin, yung Manila, yung Bangsamoro, no? So, sinasabi dito sa BBL na yung parang sabihin sa Manila, okay, Manila, pwede kayong mag-expand ng area. Ano ba yung katabi ng Manila? Pasay, Makati, ano pa? Quezon City, di ba? Ano pa?
So,
Caloocan.
Opo.
Okay, so, sabihin mo, parang sinasabi, Manila, pwede kang basta may 10% lang dyan sa katabi mo na pwede magkaroon ng plebisito para sakupin nyo yung ibang lugar, yung katabi nyo.
So ang worry nyo po sir, itong Bangsamoro entity ay posibleng lumaki with just 10% ng mga tao na sumasang-ayon kahit na sila originally hindi kasama dito sa Bangsamoro.
Yung 10% na yon ay para magkaroon ng plebisito.
Opo.
Diba? So, at hindi mo binibigyan ng pagkataon yung Pasay, yung Makati, yung Quezon City, na pwedeng kumuha na ng area sa Manila. Ang binibigyan mo lang, karapatan, yung Manila pwede mag-expand. Pero yung katabi, maghintay na lang kung sasakupin sila o hindi. So, there will be a plebiscite. Sabi mo, itong plebiscito na ito, ngayon, sige, sakupin mo yung kaya mong sakupin. Okay, after that, hindi pwede magkaroon ng plebiscite in 5 years. In 5 years after, Manila, pwede kang ulit magkaroon ng plebiscito kung sasakupin mo yung kaya mong sakupin. Halimbawa, doon sa plebiscite na yon, nakasali na yung Pasay.
Opo.
Nakasali na yung Quezon City. Anong sunod? After 5 years, kung katabi na, sakup mo na yung Pasay, ang next 10 years, habulin mo, yung Las Piñas na o yung Parañaque. Pagkatapos sa kabila, habulin mo na rin yung Rizal na.
So ang pangamba niyo po, sir?
Yan ang opt-in na nalagay dyan at nakalagay hindi karoon pwede magka-plebisito in 5 years but pwede after 5 years and after 5 years, 5 years na naman, 10 years. So anything can happen. Parang sinasabi mo sa Bangsamoro, sige binibigyan kita ng 5 years. Basta kung kaya mong sakupin yung katabi mo, sakupin mo. Pwede ba yun? Tama ba yun?
Okay, sir. Ako po ay nakikinig din doon sa hearings at marami po kayo noon na iminungkahi ng mga amendments. Yun nga lang, natatalo kayo lagi sa botohan. At napansin ko po, isa pa po doon sa mga provisions na talagang tinututulan ninyo ay yung sa parte po ng wealth sharing. Kasi sabi niyo po, parang hindi po ata fair na yung ibang local government units, ang hatian nila pagdating sa natural resources ay ganito lamang pero mas malaki yung doon sa Bangsamoro.
That dalawang provision yan that will affect the other local government units, no? Yung isa, yung poder na binibigay sa Bangsamoro to create their own municipalities and barangays. Alam mo, dun sa IRA, ang pagkahatian sa IRA, the more municipalities you create, the less the share of each municipality. Okay lang if a municipality is created following the guidelines of the local government code when it comes to income, when it comes to land area, and when it comes to population. Because it is really a right of an area to become a municipality if it meets those conditions. Pero dito, binibigyan mo ng poder yung Bangsamoro to create municipalities and barangays even without stating na kailangan sumunod sa criteria ng local government. So sabi ko, siguro para malaman ng ibang munisipyo, baka mawala kayo ng ira nyo, it will be less if we give this power to the Bangsamoro to create whatever municipalities they want, not following the standards of the local government code. Pangalawa, Sara, may isa pang provision dyan na sinasabi yung privileges that the local government units are now enjoying will not be diminished unless altered for good governance. And, so, ang sinasabi ko, dapat yung provision yan, the privileges that are being now enjoyed by the local government should not be diminished. Period. Wala nang unless altered. Kasi, yung provision na yan, again, is so unfair to the other local government units, especially the ones inside the arm. Tingnan mo, Akara, those provisions are very logical. They are based on reason. They are based on practicality. But still, it was voted down. Now, and one thing that I was really very surprised, dun sa guiding principles, ang proposal ko, sinasabi ko, I think the number one guiding principle that the Bangsamoro is a integral and inseparable part of the Republic. Diba? Klaro, para malinaw na takot kayo sa Pilipinas at hindi pwede kayong maghiwalay, inseparable. Diba?
Okay,
Now,
sir.
ngayon, yung binote down, ano ba naman yan? So, again, what was wrong with that amendment? That amendment was just trying to protect the Republic, the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the Republic of the Philippines. Well, Kara, Howie, in the very first place, the very first motion that I proposed, I said, the chairman has always said, the trust on the MILF has been affected because of the Mama Sapan. So, to have this law passed, it would be easier and more acceptable if conditions, the chairman, number one, the MILF will return all of the firearms. Not only some, but all of the firearms. Number two, that the MILF will surrender those MILF involved in the Mama Tapano massacre. And number three, that the MILF will help in the arrest and search and arrest of Usman. Anyway, number three, non-neutralize Usman. There are different versions of how it happened, but definitely number one and number two have not been met. So I said, I am going to support the position of the chairman, and I move, and I will put that into a motion. Aba, pati yung motion na natalo, and the vote was 18-37. The Congress cannot, the committee cannot even say, oy, MILF, isaolin niyo yung armas. Oy,
Opo.
MILF, ibalik, isurrender niyo yung MILF na takot sa Mama Tapano. With that, I really, let the people be the judge.
Mhm. So, sir, masasabi niyo po bang malaki yung naging impluensya ng palasyo dito sa botohan? Kasi sa lahat po ng amendments na inyong inihain, talagang lagi po kayong natatalo at tila ang bumoto lamang ng no ay yung mga party list representatives, ilang party list
Hindi,
representatives at mga
hindi lang
kongresista
party list
mula
representative.
sa Mindanao at mga kongresista po mula sa Mindanao.
Actually, let's say kung sabihin mo influensya, anong dahilan, I will not venture and I don't like to speculate. I don't want to cast aspersions on anybody. More or less, I can just answer for myself and what I have been doing and trying to do. Ako lang, let's put it this way. I have been trying to protect the interests of Zamboanga, doing what is best for Mindanao, upholding the Constitution, and protecting the Republic. Those are my guidelines.
Opo. Sir, ang sabi niyo po ay round 1 pa lang po ito ng laban kasi pagdating sa plenaryo, makikipagbakbakan po kayo ulit.
Actually, round 1, kasi I already, that's why I've clarified dun sa bago magbotohan. Sabi ko, yung House Rules, nakalagay na once the committee report is submitted, it is presumed na wala nang miyembro ng committee that can talk on the floor except if you put it in writing. So that's why I clarified that. Tapos sabi naman ni Chairman Rodriguez, hindi. If you vote no, then you can raise any issues on the floor. And if you vote yes with reservations, pwede rin. So that is clear. And definitely, I will try to put in the law provisions that will protect the Republic, make it more constitutional, more or less make it more not lopsided, not one-sided, but more just and fair to the people and the local governments in Mindanao and also to Zamboanga. No? So definitely, I'm going to propose yung amendment po that the Bangsamoro will be an integral and inseparable part of the Republic for the Philippines.
Okay.
Definitely, I am going to push for yung amendment that says whatever is enjoyed by the local government unit shall not be diminished. Period. Wala nang unless or unless altered. And then, yun naman sa isa. Cara, where have you heard of a plebiscite wherein COMELEC will proclaim the results, but the results still need to be confirmed that it has been ratified, and it has to be supposed to be confirmed by the MILF panel and the GHP panel. Is the MILF panel higher than the constitutional body? That the results of the constitutional body still need to be confirmed by the MILF? What if one province decide na in the vote that kakala sila? So, matapos sabihin ng MLF, hindi kami naniwala dyan sa results na yan. So, hindi kami mag-confirm sa ratification.
Opo. Maraming salamat. Opo.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Zamboanga City Representative
Okay,
Celso
maraming
Lobregat.
salamat.
Thank you, sir.